Okay, Deepshikha, first of all, congratulations for securing rank 5th in CDS. So यहाँ पे सारे बच्चे हैं and we also want to know few things कि आपको कैसा लग रहा है from NIT to OTA वो भी first attempt में.
Okay, so first of all, good evening, everyone. I guess you guys know my name, so yeah, I'm Deepshikha. And yes, Rajesh sir, thank you for giving me this opportunity, like to interact with everyone. So yes, I'm feeling very elated because of this. I also did not expect, because merit list, I was just keen, let's see, merit list will come in, then we'll see what happens about the rank and all. And okay. So the journey was, it was very interesting, to be honest, if I'll say interesting and full of ups and downs. So that was my journey.
So सबसे challenging phase क्या था in the preparation part, especially for the written or SSB?
Yeah, so I'm from NIT. I'm a BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering. So yeah, as I guess most of you would be knowing, BTech is a 4-year course. So for CDS, we are eligible only in final year. So during the final year, we also have our placement companies coming up. So managing my CDS preparation along with the placement preparation and after the place and also my internship. Like after 3rd year, we also have to do a major internship, it's called. So managing all 3 of these together, and after that placement companies and started coming in and placement tests also started. So managing all of this together, that was the challenging part, but it taught me a lot. Most importantly, how to manage time and that everything can be managed if you want to do it.
So you applied for internship and you got a PPO?
No, internships, those internships are like compulsory internships from the college side. So I had just applied in a company and did my internship for the period of like 1.5 months. And that was it. I got placed via my campus placements only. I did not get a PPO.
Okay. So like you got a job, then why you are like going for defenses, like defense forces?
Yeah. So
motivations.
Yeah. So joining the army was my childhood dream. Like since nursery, it was my dream, like to join the Indian Army. So since then, all of my decisions somehow maybe subconsciously or maybe consciously, they were based upon my path of joining the army. So okay. It was clear that I have to go to army, and all other things came like secondary surrounding that. But I also have a responsibility, like all of us have a responsibility towards our family as well. So we cannot just keep on dwelling on one thing, right? If something is passion, that's good. But we also need some stability in life, right? So that having a job is, yes, it's necessary. Because in SSB also, they ask you, what is your backup if you don't clear it? And a lot of candidates don't have an answer to that question. So that is why it is important to have a backup. And yes, it was my responsibility towards my family as well, like to be to have a secure job as well, and then to chase my dreams.
Okay. So when you started preparing for CDS?
Yeah, I started my CDS preparation at the end of my 3rd year. Like my 3rd year had finished, and after that I started that maybe March 12, 2022, I think so.
Okay. So if you have a chance to give some tips to a fresher who want to start for CDS.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think, like when should a person start for CDS? Okay. Looking at the question paper pattern and the level of difficulty is getting now, but like day by day. So what do you think? Like when should a student start for CDS?
Okay. Yeah. So regarding that, see, preparing for CDS, it's about time management. It is not just about CDS, about any competitive exam. Like during my 11th and 12th standard, I prepared for JEE mains. Now during my final year, I prepared for CDS. So it is the same about all of the competitive exams. I would say suggest if like you can start preparing 6 months before. That is a good time. Like I had appeared for CDS 2 2023. The exam was in September 2023. So I started preparation in around Feb or March 2023. Earlier, I had mentioned 2022 as a wrong year. Sorry for that. I started in Feb to March 2023 because for engineering students, third year is very hectic. And after third year, you have some time, for internships. So I utilized that for my placement preparation and CDS preparation as well, and continued my preparation even when my college started and placement companies started coming. So it is majorly about time management. And yes, if you are going to start the preparation of CDS, so first of all, I would suggest that, collaborate with other defense aspirants as well. Because if you keep on interacting with them, then you come to know about the trends or patterns, something someone else would have identified, something you would have identified. So that is nice. And other than that, go through the previous year question papers. You will identify some patterns. Okay. And after that, you can start preparation. There are a lot of subjects. So just distribute them. You can do it this way. Like take one major subject, for example, geography, and then take one subject which you are comfortable with. For example, physics, since I'm from a science background. So geography, I don't know anything about. Physics, I know some things about. I can revise it. So two things we can do it together. So one tough thing, one small thing, managing it together. So this way you can cover all of the subjects. And about that, it is, it is not about how much you have studied, how much you can retain. That is what it matters. So giving mock test and revising it regularly, that is what is very important. If you do not revise it and you have studied, like completed the whole syllabus, then also it won't matter, towards your selection. If you have revised it, if you're confident with whatever part you have read, then that will be the key. Okay. And be very consistent.
Okay, so being from a technical background, how are you prepared for GS? Because GS is something which you have never, have gone through in the last 2 or 3 years in your BTech life, right? For example, geography, history, polity, right? So how you cope up with that part?
Okay, yeah. So regarding geography, history, polity, the GS part.
Have you prepared for NDA also?
No, during that time, girls were not allowed in NDA. So I was not eligible for the NDA exam. Okay. When I was in the second year, at that time, girls were eligible for NDA.
Got it. So how you prepare for GS?
Yeah. Coming to the GS part, yes, after 10th standard, there was no contact with GS because I was a PCM student, and after that, BTech. So yes, for that, you can watch. There is a lot of content on YouTube. After the COVID time, the best thing was that every, study material is available on YouTube. So you can just go and check. First of all, your thing would be the UPSC CDS exam syllabus, which will be released by UPSC itself. So go through that. You will see that the syllabus is about, 9th to 12th of these GS subjects. So you can first, then after that, you can go to YouTube. Okay, you can see anyone's video. If you like some mentor, you can go for anyone's video and then observe that what are they saying. And then you can just start one by one. Okay, this chapter, okay, I'll go for this subject and then I'll go for this particular chapter. So don't leave any subject in between. For example, I started geography. Now geography consists of physical geography, world geography, Indian geography, right? So it is a very, vast syllabus. But still just focus on completing it. Like don't leave anything in between. I just focused on doing it every day, whether you feel like doing it or not. But continue doing whatever you're doing. Okay, guys. Nice comment. Anyways, I'll continue. So yes, first of all, divide your syllabus, have a good plan of action, and have good time management. And continue giving mock tests and keep checking the previous year question papers. You'll continue to know that what you're reading is going right or not. Also, I would recommend do not go for multiple reference books. Pick one book and then continue with it. Right? I think that answers your question. If I need to put some light on something else, please let me.
So what was your strategy for GS part? Because as in case of CDS, people think that GS is very tough, so they attempt around 40 to 60 questions. So what was your strategy?
Okay, yeah. So I also went through some YouTube strategy videos, like as in how to tackle GS. So the thing was, first of all, I noted down all of the subjects that are included in GS. So there's science portion, including physics, chemistry, bio, history, geography, economics, polity, right? And then there's current affairs. So first of all, I decided that let's go for geography. I also had a senior preparing for the CDS exam as well. So I used to interact with them, like how you are preparing. He also didn't have any idea. I also didn't have any idea. So we both prepared together and collaborated. So, day by day, he got ideas on some topics. I got ideas on some topics, as in how to prepare. So that is why I asked you guys also to collaborate and study. Now,
Okay.
so like, for example, I started with geography, and along with that, I prepared English and English together with. So first of all, I focused on English grammar, and simultaneously I was also covering geography. And after completing that, I moved on to the next subject. I could not cover much of history, but in CDS, there is a myth that you need to cover all of the subjects to qualify. It is not like that. You can also score good marks, but you need to make sure don't go for negative marking, that you don't over attempt and don't get your marks down due to negative marking. So I did not cover history much. Economics, I tried to cover as much as I could. I used the online videos. I referred to YouTube itself, like whatever I can get. So I went through that. I covered most of these videos. They covered the previous year questions of CDS. So that was my strategy basically. Study whatever syllabus has been given. And after that, practice some questions over that so that you know, okay, have I understood or not? And keep revising it. So that was the strategy for each and every subject.
Okay, so you followed any books also?
Yeah, regarding the books, not much. Actually, it was about the YouTube videos only. And in case I needed some books, I followed NCERT only. I also followed, like, if you don't have, like, there are some NCERT summary books as well, like, which cover whole 6 to 12 standards.
NCERT, something like this, right?
Yeah. There's just also, and, multiple publications they publish about these books, these NCERT summary books. So you can refer any of them. My reason of referring them was in NCERT, there are some lines, some jargons of some technical terms. So when I was going through PYQs, I saw that some technical jargons are there. So how can I cover that? And I saw that these are available only in NCERT. So using NCERT summary, I could cover those jargons as well, which were not covered in those online courses I went through via YouTube. So that's why I used those books.
Okay. So, like, there's a basic questions from everyone, like for NDS students also, for CDS also. The question is how to manage both the normal schedule along with the CDS or NDA. So how did you manage it?
Okay. So yeah, how to manage that? It all comes down to, discipline, consistency, and your time management. All of these are interlinked. And all of these are interlinked to your urge of joining, right? There are people who want to join the army, but they're saying, okay, I don't have time. So, okay, I can do it tomorrow. Or maybe right now my situation is not right. I can try 6 months later. So that's why you need to, set your priorities straight, to be honest. I'll be saying, set your priorities straight. You want to go to the academy? Okay, great. And you also, I would suggest that don't, let go of your other things. Like, don't let go of your academics, because in SSB also they will ask you how is your academics going? So if you will mess up over there, you won't have any answer in SSB. So you will be messing up your dream as well. So that is why it is important. So time management, see, a day has only 24 hours. During the preparation of CDS, I thought that why the day only has 24 hours? Why can't it be 28? I need more time. So for more time, you need, what I did was I improvised my sleep schedule. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. because I did not have, enough time. So I used to wake up at 4 a.m. and whatever buffer work was remaining, like some syllabus was left from the previous day, I used to cover that. Okay, I used to work out. Working out is very important for your mental health as well, because preparation is very grueling task. If you are not physically fit, you will give up. So I need to manage, like, workout was also a priority, studying was also a priority, and I also, made a promise to myself that I won't let other things in my life, like my academics, my placement, anything go down. Everything will be done and everything will be done good. So this was my spirit. So you also should keep this spirit, make some commitments to yourself and, be true to that. So make a routine every night before sleeping. Make a routine that what will you be doing tomorrow, not a vague thing, but it will have the time that at this particular time I will wake up, by this particular time I will have completed my workout, and next particular time I will study. And in study, not just study, what will I study, which subject will I study, and how much do I have to cover. And for the study schedule itself, make it like I used to make bi-weekly schedules, like in the whole week or maybe in the 15 days I have to cover this particular subject. So for covering that, how many chapters do I need to do this day? And that's how I made a plan, and this was fitted into my routine. So be very specific about your time management and routine. And now comes your discipline. Like discipline is like, okay, yeah, I had some personal thing, or maybe I hung out with my friends for later on. So okay, it's fine, I'll do it tomorrow. So today's work will be pending for tomorrow. Tomorrow something else will come up. So for the type of CDS, I used to say to my friends, they were asking me, Deepshikha, ये वाली movie चलेगी? मैं बोली अब सब होगा 3 सितंबर के बाद. So 3 September was my CDS due. So जो भी movie देखनी है उसके बाद देखेंगे. Okay.
So how you prepare for SSB?
Yeah, for SSB. Okay. For girls only in CDS there's OTA only. So we have a 6 months break between that. So like my results were released. Actually, after I would suggest after giving your CDS exam, that day itself, multiple YouTube channels, they release the answer keys itself. They discuss the answers. So what I did was I just checked my paper when I came back. The CDS, it is a 6-hour, it is a 4-hour exam for girls and 6-hour exam for boys, depending on the academy entries, as you all might be knowing. So that's why that night, that evening, actually, I went for a walk. I walked very well. And after that, that night, I went back and checked my answer key. Okay. I did not feel like checking it, but for getting the motivation, I went for a walk. Okay, fine. I have to check it. And then that day itself, you'll know that if you're qualifying or not. Because, don't dwell upon that. Jab result aayega, tab dekh liya jayega. Don't do it. If something is in your control, just do that thing. So I knew कि okay, clear हो रहा है CDS मेरा, I have to appear for SSB. So now new plan of action. अब SSB needs current awareness. I did not have a habit of reading newspaper, but I knew that this is essential for SSB. So this is for my dream. I have to do it. So the next day, that is 4th September of 2023, I started reading newspaper, and since then I have been reading newspaper every day regularly. If I could not, and I made it a time as well. The term about body clock. Body clock is a term like your body knows that at some particular time, if you do something every day, your body knows that it should be doing something. So it becomes very easy for you to do that. So I made it a habit that I'll come back from after working out and then I'll read the newspaper. So I did that every day regularly. And that helped me very much with my current awareness as well. And also with my psychology stories. Like if you want to make high level stories, when you will read newspapers, you'll get ideas about so many new things, like what's going on in the railways, what is going on internationally, what new innovations have come up, what problems people are suffering. So that will definitely help you a lot with your psychology as well. And after that, coming to the GTO part. So for GTO consists of 9 tests. So yes, physical fitness is important, right? So every day, take out time for working out because that is a priority. Other than that, work on your personality. About the notes from newspaper, I did not make notes. I have an app called, you must be knowing about app called Google Notes. You can take any note-taking app. I used to just note down some important headlines about which I need to, read more about it. So for example, like considering the present thing. So for example, let's take the case of Riyasi terrorist attack. So in that case, something major has happened in the nation or maybe international level also. So I just noted that Riyasi terrorist attack because I need to read more about it. And in the night or maybe in the evening, I used to check more about those details. So don't make a lot of notes because you won't get time to, flip through that. Just keep aware. Reading newspaper every day, you will keep revising what happened in the earlier times. So, note making would, if you like making notes, you can. But, these short kind of headlines, these also help. Now, coming to the GTO part, and Yeah, I'll come back to the chat section questions a bit. I'll just finish my part and then I'll continue with that. Okay, guys? Yeah. So yeah, I'll come to screening as well. In GTO, yeah, fitness I've covered, and then reading newspaper, yes. And GTO is a GTO not. Overall, the whole SSB is about your personality. I was also in NCC during my college time, so yes, that also helped me a lot. The kind of person you are now, if there's a short trick I would like to say, it is like you want to become an army officer, right? For me, the definition of an army officer is like a superhero. Okay? He or she can do anything. Okay, he or she knows about everything. He or she can do everything, and in front of him or her, nothing wrong can be done because they are present over there. So this is the attitude you should have in your life. So if you'll start acting like an army officer, then changes will come. That will also show in SSB. I'm not asking to act like a lieutenant kid, okay, ordering everyone. No, not like that. The spirit of an army officer, the ethos, the ethics they have, sitting upright, being disciplined, working out regularly, treating people nicely. So I'm talking about that. And if your personality is already like that, that will definitely show up in GTO. You cannot fake it, your personality. And also, caring about others, your teams, your subordinates, your colleagues. That also is very important because that develops team spirit and leadership. A good leader, in SSB, the testing is done to see if you are a good leader. And after that, if after leader, you are made a subordinate, how do you act? Are you fine with it? Are you happy with it? So yes, you should work fine in both ways, as a leader as well and as a subordinate as well, respecting others' opinions and others' emotions as well. So it is not just act and pretend we are friends during 5 days. No, it's not like that. Make genuine connections. People will open up about themselves, listen to them. I'm not asking कि GTO का task चल रहा है उसके बीच में बात करें और क्या हालचाल, अच्छा बहुत बुरा हुआ ऐसे करके. No, not like that. So the time है SSB के बाद, not during the task.
Okay, so people are asking how to prepare for TAT and PPND, especially for screening test. तो आपने कैसे तैयारी करी थी इसकी PPND की?
Okay, so screening. Yeah, screening is very important. So yes, day one screening. So first of all, see, OIR को भी neglect मत करना, ठीक है? OIR की भी practice करते रहो. It's important. And yes, regarding PPDT, what I used to do, I with Telegram only, like you guys are in defense wala, I think. Like, are you course? You guys are course mates, somehow in defense wala's courses. So you also have course mates. There might be a Telegram channel as well. So there also are other Telegram channels as well for defense aspirants. So you can also join those and practice. Every evening there are sessions conducted over there. A picture is shown and people write a story and conduct group discussions. So you can do that. And above all of that, just thinking about the theme. What I used to do was get some PPDT pictures. You can get them on Telegram as well. There are a lot of internet sources. You can get them everywhere. If you like, you can order some books as well from from Amazon or maybe Flipkart, whatever online service you use. So I used to look at a picture and then practice, simulate the situation. In over there, you'll be shown a picture for 30 seconds, and then after that, you will have to write the theme and the characters, and after that, you'll have to write the story. So simulate that and practice over and over again. And after that, with the group discussions help, you'll come to know what other people are thinking about the story. So don't think like if my story is different, then I should go with the group for the story to be accepted. No, if your story is good, people will accept you, no matter if you are the only single one who has written that story. So I hope you understand this point, right? So just simulate the situation over and over again.
So what was your conditions like in your GD part? Because in GD, it was like a fish market, right? It should be like a fish market, as everyone says. So yes. What was your conditions?
So actually, to be honest, telling about my personal self, I always struggled with GD. Coming to my personality partner, I am like the kind of person who is a more of a listener types. In my normal life, I like listening. Okay, someone is saying something, but in GD, you can't do that. So I struggled, speaking in that. But with time, with practice, I developed that. Okay, and in GD, in my SSB GD, in boys GD, I've heard that boys get some gap, but in girls GD, the group discussion is very gruesome. You don't get even a millisecond of time that someone will keep quiet. So what my point for PPDT was, okay, keep your voice loud, don't shout, just loud. Okay, so I hope you guys understand the difference between that, right? So keep it loud, like you're confident speaker, like that you speak. Okay, and other than that, listen to others as well. In GD, you'll see that if you're listening to someone, people are looking into your eyes and they're speaking, they get consolation key that yes, someone is listening to you. Listen to them and also try speaking. When the GD starts, start speaking immediately, try to be among the first speakers, because once the GD gets in flow, it becomes difficult, to interrupt them. Also in GD, if you see that some point is getting repeated again and again, do not go for that. The moment you keep quiet in GD, you think about new points, that what new point you will be adding. Add actions, like you must be knowing about the story pattern, right? PPDT. So if people are just talking about the theme, I add actions to them. So they'll also agree with you, yes, I agree with this particular chess number, that yes, we should do this. So try adding more and more points. Do not be repetitive. And do not be, what is it called, being desperate to just speak. Don't speak anything. Every word you will speak will count there. And be a confident speaker and speak in a bit of a loud voice. I've seen that in girls, especially. I would suggest that speak in a good loud voice, in a confident voice. Because I've seen that girls, particularly, they used to speak in a bit of timid and slow voice, because that is how usually girls speak. That is about the upbringing, how we usually are. So I won't blame anyone for that, but during SSB, try to be this way.
Okay, talking about speaking, so how you prepare for interviews and lecture topics? Because there you have to deliver a lot, right? You have to speak a lot, and you have to speak a lot of data and in a particular sequence. So you need to practice about that. So how do you prepare for that?
Yeah. So regarding the data, so the data and information, again, newspaper will help you. If you are aware about the current things, newspaper does not just cover about the current happenings, it also covers about the very old happenings, some past days happening, some future happenings which are about to happen. They also have news about that. So because of that, you already have the information to tackle, the points in GD. So you can, interrelate things. If something is going on about terrorism, you can also talk about the government's initiatives towards terrorism, some new advancements made by the defense forces toward terrorism. So this was not directly a news about terrorism, but this was things that were interrelated. So this will help you. For lecturate, do one thing. Yes, everyone says that practice speaking before the mirror. Also, like, I used to do one thing. I used to call my friends on Google Meet, whoever is free. So I used to make them sit on, make them come online on Google Meet. I used to send them a list of lecturer topics, just how GTO will give you a card. Now. I gave them all of the topics. I asked them that select any one card and give it to me. So they used to select a card and give me, 4 topics I had to choose from. I used to choose a topic and everything, simulate the similar situation. To practice, the best way is to simulate the similar situation. And after that, I used to prepare just like in lecturate you have to. And then I used to deliver a speech and then ask for review. My friends, those who I called, they were not defense aspirants. They were, normal people who are the corporate. They used to, judge me based on that. So they'll tell you about your confidence, your fluency. So by practicing this way, you can improve. If you don't feel like you are on level, to go in front of someone else and speak, it's all right. Speak in front of you, speak in your room. Okay. And after that, move towards speaking before someone. So that is important.
Okay. And how you prepare for interview?
Yeah. For interview, you need to know about yourself, your career, your education, what all has happened in your life. Also your technical background, like I am from BTech, so I need to know about my technical subject. If you are from BSc, you need to know about that subject. And most importantly, about army, about the role you are applying for, about the academy that you will be joining, right? So, study about all of that. There are a lot of online resources which you can refer to. They will give you a list of all of the questions they ask and the topics. So go towards the topic. For example, start with about myself. So what can they ask?
Your interview. How was your interview? How it started? Share your interview experience.
Okay, so my interview was just after, on GTO day 1, my interview was scheduled. So I just came back from the ground running because my first of all, I was the one who was scheduled for the interview. My interview was with the president.
Okay, unlucky person then.
So no, not unlucky person. Yeah, in SSB the most. So yeah, no issues about that. Yeah, one more thing in SSB, do not, the administrative part, leave them to the army people. You have to go and perform. So candidates usually take a lot of stress by thinking about, okay, यार मेरा number पहले आ गया, यार मेरा number बाद में आया, मेरे को marks कम मिलेंगे इसलिए ऐसा होगा. Leave the administrative stuff to them. They are responsible for that. You are responsible for yourself. Do focus only on giving your 100%. And now coming to my interview part. So yes, so after that I reached to the waiting hall, and then I was informed, okay, my interview has 1 hour time. So I just asked the staff that if I could go and change, because I was in my GTO clothing, and after GOR you can think like how dusty my white dress would have been. So I just asked them, and then I went. If they told me that you have 1 hour time, I just ran back to the dorm and then changed. And within half an hour, someone in my dorm told me that your call has came. So I just ran again. So I was running in my formal bellies I was wearing. So I was running over there. Some officers were also passing. They were saying that why is she running? But then as soon as I reached the waiting room, they said that okay, your call has not come yet. We just wanted you to come back fast. So I just took a sip of water, and that moment itself, my chest number displayed that okay, your call has come. So this was how I got to wear my formals for the interview. So after that, I just took some deep breaths, because I just came there running. I could not enter like that into the room. So I just controlled my breathing while walking towards the president's room, and then I knocked and entered. So I just wished him, and then he asked me. The president was a very a cheerful person. And he was very a smiling person. He was not kind of intimidating. He was very friendly. And he asked me to sit down. And then he asked, the first question he asked me was, your GTO day 1 was there, no? You changed and came back. I said, yes, sir. So he was also happy that, okay, very fast you changed and came back. And after that, questions started. So first of all, questions started with CIQ about myself, my family, like my education background. And in that CIQ, they ask you about everything, your 10th marks, your 12th marks. He even asked my JEE Mains percentile. And he'll ask you about your college semester CPIs. So that's why I was talking about that. Do not let your life, the other things that you should have been doing, do not let them just go to some other place because you're preparing for the armies. Prepare for them simultaneously. Everything you are doing, that is taking you towards your goal. And after that, after CIQs, he asked me about something about my family, like what values have you learned from them, from some particular family members he mentioned from them, like how do you manage your budget, how do you manage your education, like what is your pocket money, how do you spend it, and other than that, who are your friends, what have you learned from them, what you like, what you dislike about them. Then he came to my, technical. I'm from electronics and communications. So he asked me some questions about 5G and the mobile speed and things. So these are technical stuff from electronics. He also asked me some measurement related questions. For example, estimate the dimensions of this room. How many tiles would I require to do that? He asked me like calculate the simple interest for this. So that is why being generally aware, it is important. And then he asked me like, tell me 5 national and 5 international news. And he mentioned as well, I do not want to listen about Israel, Gaza, about Russia, Ukraine. No, I don't want to listen about that. So that is why reading newspaper is important, so that you know a variety of topics. Because if you just go, if you're just someone who just looks at a headline and pretending, okay, I am currently aware, you won't know about other news headlines other than those major happenings. No? So that is why reading newspaper was important. He also asked me about my routine. So there comes your time management. If you already have a routine, then you'll have no problem in telling him the routine and justifying it. But if you're, pretending that I'm a very disciplined and organized person, you might get stuck over there, because he'll ask you if you are really doing something, there is no issue in explaining that, right? So yeah, all of these covered the things as, yeah.
So you were a part of NCC also, right? So did it help you?
Yes, it definitely. So, yeah, definitely it did.
Have they asked you questions on NCC also?
Yeah, he asked me questions, not technical questions regarding NCC, but he asked me that why did you not come from NCC entry? because you already have an NCC certificate. So he also asked me, so you just wasted your time doing NCC. So I had my reasons of doing NCC. I also explained him that, by NCC, I learned about the army way of life, that what I come from a civilian background. I wanted to know about more things, like I want to join the army, then what am I applying for? I must know about the things. So NCC gave me, an insight to the army way of life. So that was my reason of applying for the army.
So any funny incident from your interview?
From my interview, yes. Everyone suggests that you should be cheerful during your interview, no? So usually in my normal life, I am the kind of person, who sits very, he sits quietly and listens very, seriously to everyone who's speaking. So I'm not that kind of person who remains very smiley person. I have a good sense of humor, as far as I think. So usually I'm that serious person, but during that interview when I went in, so the interview was like, whenever he wanted to cross question me, he used to smile. So the first moment he smiled, I knew that he's going to cross question me. So I also smiled that, okay, you are going to cross question me. And then the interviewing officer looked at me and he laughed that she's also smiling. So after that, the mood of the interview became very light. So I was also smiling and answering. He was also smiling and asking. So sometimes he used to say, I am not satisfied with your answer, but I'll move ahead. So he also smiled. I also smiled. So this was the good part of that.
Okay. So in the entire interview process, have you ever felt कि like कभी डर लगा हो, you felt कि नहीं अब तो खराब हो गया, like I have ruined the interview, ऐसा कोई point?
Yeah. So this was not about interview. Before, after the psychology test, yes, GTO happened. And during GTO, the group task officer, observer who comes here, that officer, explains you very well that this test consists of 9 total tests. So even if you mess something, don't be sad. Even if you do something very well, don't be very happy. Just forget about the past happenings, move on. So this was the very important thing that I remembered. So I put my, all of the focus in my current task, not in the previous thing. Because in my group planning exercise, I thought that I guess I have messed up. So I thought this way. So it may be true, it may not be true as well. Because don't trust whatever you think, isn't it? That's also a title of a book.
Okay. So like any incident from the GTO task where you felt that, okay, my team is not that good, or they are not performing, or we can be a batch where like they can whitewash us, because like GTO is something where a lot of mess happens, right? Because it's a group task.
Yeah. Okay.
So
regarding that, this again, comes to your ethics. Because of NCC also, I was like kind of in NCC also I was a badge holder, So I always had the spirit that my team should not suffer because of me. If I am there, I'll be their shield. If something good is happening, I'll send my team in front. But if something bad is going to come, I'll be their shield. So similar thing was there during GTO as well. So I never thought about this thing that my team is not good, because that is not my job to do. That is the assessor's job to do, to assess what others are doing. I am here to perform my level. And my team is...
Have you came across some people who are like over enthusiastic or dominating, kind of like people say that in GTO, there are people who come there over dominating and all those, so like who can spoil the entire task and all. So have you encountered that?
Okay, yeah. So that also, I went to SSB with the mindset that I am going there to perform myself. Whatever others do, that should not concern me. I'll be very polite. I also, made my mind that I will be very patient no matter what happens, because that is what they want to see. Be patient. So people will be there, getting over enthusiastic and, doing things they don't even know. So during that time, if you are calm and you know that what do we have to do, you can, tell them, okay, chess number this, we can do this as well. I understand your idea. Let's try this idea. And after that, we'll again come back to your idea. If this idea doesn't work, you can try to convince them politely. Even if they do not get convinced, the GTO will definitely observe that this person is calm and trying to, or deal with things properly. The over-enthusiastic person has already been noticed by the GTO that he is over-enthusiastic. So as I said, you need not worry about these people. These people will, take care of themselves their way as only. So you need not worry about them. Just focus on performing well.
Okay. Okay. So we have people who are going to going for SSB next month in the early July. So they might be having some questions. I'm taking one by one. So those who have doubts, please raise your hand one by one, and we can. Yeah. Okay. Shubham, go first.
Hello, ma'am. First of all,
Hello, Shubham.
congratulations.
Thank you.
So my question is about the PPDT test. Like I was screened out for the NDA 149 course. Now I'm appearing for the CDS IMA entry. And my question is about whenever I make a story about a picture, so I don't get any, we can say, good theme about the story. And whenever I make actions about the story, so I get only 2 to 3 actions. My story most of the time seems very simple. So how can I make more effective?
Yes, I understand your point. Okay. So regarding getting good themes, what you can do, see, there are fellow defense aspirants with you as well. Make a time, where you all of you will come to a, meeting, an online meeting as well. And then, slide, go through different PPDT pictures and tag themes as well. So, see one picture and then each and every person will contribute a theme to that. Someone would think that these are brother and sister, they are doing something for their family. Someone else would see that this is a doctor and this is a nurse and they are going for, vaccination drive. So that is way by brainstorming, you'll get, better ideas. And, for the actions part you said, by brainstorming only, you'll get to meet so many new people who have so much of idea, about different things. People come from diverse backgrounds, they have diverse ideas as well. So this will definitely help you. And other than that, reading newspapers and being generally aware, watching news, knowing what is going on. Overall, developing a personality when you are ready to know more and more about things. So that will help you out in preparing actions. So there is no, simple story or bad story. It's not like that. How you present your story, that is important. So yes, definitely add good actions to the story. Brainstorming will definitely help you in getting good themes, because you alone can think about maybe 1, 2, 3 themes, but if you are collaborating with 10 other people, you can get up to 30 to 40 themes, right? And whenever you brainstorm, just note down the important themes. Like you thought, okay, I could not even think in that direction, but this is a possible thing, that is a nice thing. So that's how you can work for that.
Okay, I have one more question. Like, if the situation arise, like I made a story, and the story doesn't, we can say, match with the whole group. So what should I do in the group discussion?
Yeah,
So
this is a myth of, this is a big myth of SSB, I would say. It doesn't, it is not important that your story matches with the group. My story was different from the whole group, but it was a good story. So the whole group supported my story, right? So if you, the way of brainstorming, I told you, if you have a good theme, if you have made a good theme, narrate the story very confidently. If you are narrating and, people are just getting, they're listening to your way of narration and they're listening to your story, they will definitely support you. So during narration, it is your first impression in front of the assessors. Before that, they don't know who you are. So that is your first impression. And you must have heard first impression is the last impression. So in that narration only, give your 100% and, narrate the story so well that people listen to you. And after that, pitch your story's point. Even if the group goes towards one particular story, you agree with them, do not disagree. Try adding more points. If you felt that someone else's point was very good, you can add that. You can give them due credit. I like chess numbers, just this particular chess numbers point. We can also add this to story. We can also add this particular action to the group story. So, contribute to the group. That's it.
okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hello. Hello, sir. I would like to ask a question, sir.
Yeah, Anupam. Actually, I'm ma'am.
Oh no, I was sorry. I was talking to Rajesh
Oh,
sir.
sorry. Acha, okay,
Uh,
Rajesh sir. Okay.
Congratulations, mate. I was to ask you about the PIQ form.
Mhm.
Particularly the sports section. Did you mention any
Yeah.
sports, or
Yes.
what if someone don't have participated in any,
Sports. I understand.
on a
Yeah.
school level or some
Hmm.
levels?
Right. Right. I do get your
I would
question.
like to. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So for the PIQ, first of all, I'll start with PIQ. So in PIQ, it is very important because that will be, kind of your resume. If you would be knowing about applying for jobs, so that is your resume in SSB. So it needs to be good and it needs to be honest. Do not lie on that, blabbering about things. Okay, so what I did was, PIQ format, you can find it online. I guess Defense Wala team would have also shared that PIQ form. So what I did was I took about 4 to 5 printouts of that. I filled a PIQ form. And I, sent that to some of my seniors who were also preparing for SSB. So I sent them and asked for the reviews. So they just suggested me some changes in that. So I changed that, and that's why before going to SSB, you must know what you are going to fill in the PIQ form. So that is why rather than vaguely trying and thinking that okay, I'll fill that, okay, iska to ye bhar denge, wo bhar denge, take a printout of the PIQ form, fill it, and so that you know by heart what you have to fill in there. Coming to the sports section, yes, a lot of people have the questions that I did not participate at school level, international level, national level, etc. I also did not, participate at like inter-school level or something like that. No, I did not. But yes, I did participate in sports. Like I am good at some sports. Like for example, in my section, I wrote about badminton. I had also, participated in multiple other sports like swimming, discus throw, athletics, and different. I kept on participating. What SSB wants to know is that you have participated or not. So you can just mention that you played this particular sport from this time to this time. And in the level, you can just write inter-house maybe, or maybe just write school level, simple. And when
So
they
I
ask you, yeah.
so I didn't participate in it at a school level, but I do it, on casual way.
Yeah.
Not casually,
So,
but on casual way with our friends. Like I
yeah,
played volleyball and some little other sports,
exactly.
but
That is what they want. They don't want someone who just keeps on sitting and reading and reading. No? So sports is an important part. So you are playing that. They don't want you to play something very formally. No, this is not required. You have played some sport. You know about that sport. This is what they want to know. So they just want to know if you have participated. It doesn't matter if you played national level or your Mary Kom, or if you're just a normal person. Simple.
okay, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Good evening, ma'am.
Now, Ronak, wait, wait. Ronak Shukla, you can ask. Ronak Shukla.
Yes, yes. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Okay. So, as we all know that you have qualified in your very first attempt. So, I wanted to know that what you think that what qualities are most essential for SSB, and why candidates are not getting recommended even in their fourth or fifth attempt.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. Regarding this question, so telling you, I am also a fresher. Just जो कॉन्फ्रेंस आउट हुआ या फिर जो स्क्रीन आउट हुआ या फिर जो रिकमेंड हुआ है ना, सबका वो फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट था, तो उन लोग को जितना पता है मुझे भी उतना ही आता, राइट? सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एंड द what the most important thing about SSB I thought was that it is about the personality. The thing which I already mentioned, you want to become an army officer, so act like it. Behave this way. Like if you are just blabbering something like language अजीब type की है, if you look at an army officer, like मन में तो सबके कुछ ना कुछ ideal image तो बनी होगी ना, लक्ष्य तो सबने देखी है ना, तो उसमें कुछ इमेज तो बनी ना यार कि करण शेरगिल कैसे चेंज किया अपने आप को, डिसिप्लिन होता है आर्मी ऑफिसर में, लाइक दे टॉक वेरी वेल, देयर कम्युनिकेशन इज गुड. सो आई वुड रिकमेंड just do one thing, take a paper and pen, okay, and write down the qualities that you think an ideal army officer does have, and then you match it with yourself. Do you have these qualities in you? If not, then how can you change yourself to become this way? So that will definitely help you. If you really are someone, who is, who has all of these qualities, you consider the team as your family, that you want all of them to perform well. It's not like I want to do well. No, my team is doing this task, our team should do it well. If someone is lagging behind, I'll help you. If you want to go up, okay, I'll bend down, you stand on me and go up. It's fine.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
I have one
Ma'am,
more
I want to
question.
ask a question.
Yeah, Krishna, Ronak's question is going on, and after that we can take your question. Okay. Yeah,
Okay, ma'am.
Ronak, please
So,
continue.
yeah, I am listening you since very starting. So and your communication is quite good. So I want to know that what step did you take to improve your communication skills?
Yeah, during my school time as well, I was put in a lot of, extemporaries and, speaking competitions. I did not like that personally, because I'm kind of, I told you I'm kind of a listener type. So I like listening. कि ठीक है यार, शांति से बैठे हैं, सुन रहे हैं, अच्छा है. But when I'm asked to go on stage and speak, I'm like, क्यों, मतलब why are you sending me? But after, practicing इतना school में, speaking का exposure से, it helped me a lot in improving communication. And as for you, like abhi communication improve karna hai, so do one thing. You want to, I think most of people, they suffer ki I like English communication अच्छी नहीं हो पा रही है. I think so. So in that, converse with your friends in this way. Na. If you are unable to, converse whole sentence English, it's fine. Try conversing like, okay, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do this particular thing. और अभी मैं ये कर रहा हूँ, okay, I'll try doing that. Your friends will encourage you. Tell them that I am going for SSB, or I am trying to improve this, so please cooperate with me. They will definitely cooperate with you. So start at wherever you get a chance, conversing with your faculty members, or maybe so basic conversation like तुम SSB में जैसा बोलना चाहते हो ना, हर दिन वैसे ही बोलने का try करो. Right? So I think that will definitely help you, interacting with people. SSB के दौरान, I tried this one thing. Like मेरे आसपास, if someone new I see ना, like मेरे college में भी, so I used to try striking a conversation with them. Like a girl is sitting beside me. She's from some different branch. I've seen her for the first time. So I'll try saying, hi, what are you doing? Okay, from this branch. Okay, great. I'm from this particular branch. What are you doing in this department? Acha, acha. Okay, okay. So like that, if this will remove your, anxiety of conversation. And also, reading will definitely help you improve this. Try reading something, and after reading that thing, if you learn some new word, try incorporating it in your daily life. So that will help you a lot.
Okay, ma'am. One last question.
Yeah.
That I am a fresher through ND entry.
Mhm.
So I want to know that what suggestion do you want to give us for SSB, especially for a fresher?
For a fresher. Okay, so it. Don't think about it like fresher, repeater. Don't think about it as a fresher. Definitely, as everyone say, it is your golden opportunity. Give your 100%. Do not take SSB lightly. कि यार पहला attempt है, ये तो हो ही जाएगा. Do not leave anything for ये तो हो ही जाएगा. Cover everything. Like if you think you are good in speaking, ऐसा मत सोचो कि like lecturer तो हो ही जाएगा. नहीं. Even if you are good at speaking, even if you are the best at speaking, still practice speaking. Do not take anything for granted, and give your best. And also I would say कि SSB is already, SSB बहुत, दिमाग पे pressure डालता है. So do not take pressure. खुद से अपनी चीजें सोच के pressure मत बनाओ. चीजें manage रखो. So for example, इतने डेट को SSB जाना है, टिकट्स पहले से बुक हो गई हैं, पैकिंग सही टाइम पे कर लिया है, सब कुछ प्लान्ड है, वहां पे कहाँ स्टे करना है वो भी मैनेज्ड है. लास्ट मोमेंट पे ऐसे कुछ घूमने वूमने का उल्टा सीधा मत करना. अगले दिन स्क्रीनिंग है, आराम से रेस्ट करो, सो जाओ, खाओ पियो, एंड देन गो फॉर योर स्क्रीनिंग, है ना. तो एंड उसके बाद SSB में भी यही अप्रोच रखो. वॉट एवर इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू, डू दैट ओनली. पीछे का मत सोचो, ज्यादा आगे का मत सोचो. नहीं, जो सामने है बस उतना करना है, जो बोला जा रहा है उतना करो, बस. दैट्स इट.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Hello,
I
ma'am.
have a question.
Wait. Rohit, you can ask. And try to ask only one or two questions, okay? Otherwise,
sure,
this
sir.
meeting will go long.
Okay, sir. Good evening, ma'am. My question is about GTO. In my last SSB, I noticed that in my group task, in ground task, I was just standing there and doing nothing because I was not able to manifest the solutions of the obstacles. And you cleared your SSB in first attempt, so you were also seeing those obstacles first time. So how were you
Right.
able to manifest those solutions to those obstacles? Any prior preparations or anything?
Mm. Yes, I definitely understand your point. I also suffered this a lot. Matlab, like while preparing, so what I did the strategy was collaborate with other defense aspirants as well and know about their strategy. How do they approach PGT if they are left behind, and what do they do if they are left behind? How to not get left behind? You can get strategies about that by talking with other people who have already gone through SSB. And regarding the structures, what you can do is online PGT structure images are available. So what I did was I used to open those images and try to form solutions, not just one solution. If you have found one solution to the structure, don't move ahead. No, just look at the picture, try to form 3 to 4 solutions for that. Okay. And try to understand the cantilever concept because that is what works in PGT. Also, I was not so sure कि ground task को ऐसी बस मैं देख के online करके कर लूंगी. So that is why I went for coaching. सो यू कैन ऑल्सो डू दैट. अगर तुमको ग्राउंड एक्सपीरियंस की जरूरत है ना, तो जाके जहाँ पे ग्राउंड एक्सपीरियंस मिल सके वैसा कोई कोचिंग ज्वाइन कर लो. कोचिंग वाले मतलब तुम्हारी पर्सनालिटी नहीं बदल देंगे, तुम्हारा एसएसबी नहीं निकलवा देंगे, ऐसा नहीं है. बट कुछ करना है, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोई कॉम्पिटेटिव एग्जाम देना होता है ना, तो मॉक टेस्ट देते हो. वैसे ही एसएसबी है तो एक बार मॉक ट्राई करके देख लो. लाइक तुमको कुछ सीखना है, इफ समवन इज टीचिंग दैट, गो एंड अप्रोच देम, है ना. लाइक यू कैन ओनली लाइक वॉलीबॉल का वीडियो देख के तो नहीं सीख सकते हो ना. So if you feel the need कि लाइक मेरे को जरूरत है कि लाइक मेरे को ग्राउंड एक्सपीरियंस के साथ सीखना है, तो सर्च फॉर सम कोचिंग जहाँ पे तुमको वो मिल सके एंड वहां पे जाओ. आई एम नॉट एनकरेजिंग कि कोचिंग में जाओगी या फिर सेइंग कि मत जाओ. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, व्हाटएवर you feel like doing.
Okay, and my last question is about self description. Self description have very straightforward questions like तुम्हारे दोस्त क्या सोचते हैं, तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स क्या सोचते हैं. तो ये सीधे सीधे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर आपने अपने पेरेंट्स या फ्रेंड्स से जाके पूछे थे या खुद से लिखा था कि ऐसा सोचते होंगे अपनी तरफ से? ऐसा
For this, what I did was, yes, I did ask those questions to my friends, and I asked these questions to those friends of mine who are very bluntly honest, they won't say कि मतलब like तू अच्छी है. नहीं, मेरे को जानना था कि अच्छा तो चलो मैं डिस्क्राइब कर लूंगी, अपने आप को खराब क्या है वो, है ना. I went to my mother as well, मतलब like my parents as well, my sister as well. I went to each and every close one in my in my circle and asked them the question कि ठीक है यार, please describe me. And I used to I drafted a message in WhatsApp and I forwarded it to everyone कि ठीक है, this, and then replies came. I read those replies, noted down some important points, and based on that, I created my self description list. And those replies which I found that yes, this is true, only those replies I included. So it is not like someone said that okay, you are very confident and you feel yourself that no, I am not confident. So don't write about that. If someone says that yes, you are hardworking, you also feel yes, I am hardworking, then write that.
Okay, thanks, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Ritesh Shukla, you can ask now.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, which newspaper you used to read, ma'am, for ma'am, current affairs, ma'am? Please, ma'am. Tell.
Ritesh, I could not hear your question actually because of, I guess, background noise maybe. Could you repeat?
Ma'am, I want to ask you, ma'am, which newspaper you used to read, ma'am, for ma'am, current affairs?
Newspaper, right? Yeah. There is no, do not go for, there is no particular, good newspaper or bad newspaper. You can read any newspaper. But since SSB, majority of the things will be in English, just go for an English newspaper. That's all I'll say. I used to read the Times of, the Times of India. But because that used to come in my girls' hostel. I used to stay in, in my college hostel. So that newspaper came in my hostel every day. So I used to read that. Simple. Whatever is available to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Ritika Rathi.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, Ritika.
Ma'am, I got screened out in my last attempt through serious entry. I would like to know, first of all, your score that you got in your written.
Yeah. So my score actually, the official score I'm not aware of because it has not been yet published on the UPSC site. But my score was in, matlab, like what I had calculated, it was about 115 or 116.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, secondly, of course, we have to work on our hobby also, that we have to show through our PIQ. Ma'am,
Yeah.
I always talk about this, which hobby should I go with that? Like sports, we cannot add because there is separate column in PIQ for
Yes,
sports
I
and
understand.
hobby.
So in that, in hobbies, I wrote one thing that was maintaining fitness. Because like I have this habit, taking steps and, completing my step count, doing strength training, running, doing everything together, leading an active life. So you can also mention this way. And also hobbies are like, what do you do in your daily life? ऐसा कुछ तो करते होगे ना, like पढ़ना अच्छा लगता होगा या कोई वीडियो देखना अच्छा लगता होगा. So you can mention that and explain it to the interviewer कि this is my hobby. Like if you wrote, write it in proper words. Like for example, if you browse the internet for some particular information. So what particular information? For example, reading defense related blogs. So you can write that reading defense related blogs and then explain them. Like this is what. So don't, create a hobby like just like that. If you really do something, then, mention about that. And even if you want to adopt a new hobby, it's great. Just explain about it well. Know about it well and explain about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Krishna.
Jai Hind, Didi, and congratulations to you.
Jai Hind, Krishna. Thank you.
I have two questions. Firstly, as you mentioned that you were not that much good in current affairs. So I was also not that much good in currents at my preparation time. But after my result, I used to see the Hindu analysis and read some important articles. So is it okay, or should I have to read whole newspaper for it?
Yeah. So, different people have different opinions about that. What for me was, I used to find editorial like a very, heavy task. कि वैसे editorial तो नहीं पढ़ना चाहिए. I was interested in, reading the news headlines. है ना? तो I would suggest कि सिर्फ editorial मतलब like try करो, like every day का ना नया बनाओ कि चलो from tomorrow I'll try to read newspaper headlines. ठीक है? तो you will just read newspaper headlines. फिर next week तक ऐसे try करो कि चलो अब मैं उस headline का मैं news भी पढ़ना चालू करता हूँ. तो क्योंकि यार you need to know about current affairs ना, editorial में बहुत कम content cover हो. Although important content वो रहता है, मैंने तो headlines ही पढ़ी हुई थी, headlines and जो news पढ़ती थी ना, क्योंकि that was interesting for me. If you find videos more interesting कि current affairs के, then you can watch current affairs videos as well. अगर like पढ़ना अच्छा नहीं लग रहा तो.
Okay, and my second question is I am very much feared of lecture. So can you please give me some advice to tackle it, or how do I improve it? Like my SSB is in next month in 26th of July.
Yeah. So like you were there in the meeting, right? So as I had mentioned कि like practice speaking है ना, वहां पे जाके तुमको जो करना है वो अभी से करके रोज सिमुलेट करो उस चीज को कि फिर से वैसा करता हूँ. अभी मैं यहाँ खड़ा हो गया, अभी मैं लेक्चरेट देता हूँ. किसी दोस्त को खड़ा कर दो कि यार तू ऐसे यहाँ पे रहे, मैं तेरे को लेक्चरेट दे रहा हूँ. और जैसे वो कार्ड्स जीटीओ तुमको करके देगा, वैसे तुम टॉपिक्स उसको दे दो कि मेरे को एक कार्ड चुन के दे उन चारों टॉपिक्स में से, मतलब जस्ट सिमुलेट इट. एंड अदर देन दैट, लेक्चरेट का की है कॉन्फिडेंस, है ना. इट इज नॉट कि तुम बहुत हाई लेवल टॉपिक पे बोल रहे हो या फिर नहीं. चूज अ डिसेंट टॉपिक लाइक जिस पे तुम्हें पता है चीजें, लाइक यू कैन ऐड फैक्ट्स एंड कोट्स एंड पॉइंट्स. Just a minute.
Okay, Didi, thank you.
Yeah. So just do that, and lecturate का key है confidence, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Didi.
Ishan Chawla.
Shashi, could you just give me a minute? Actually, I have a call. I just need a minute for that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ishan Chawla.
Good evening, ma'am. First of all, many congratulations on having cleared the CDS examination. My question to you was whether you could assist me as to how could I know whether the story that I have written for the TAT or the PP and DT test is appropriate or not. Sorry, but am I not audible?
Sorry, my mic was off. Sorry. Yeah.
Terribly sorry, ma'am.
Thank you for those warm wishes, Ishan. And yes, regarding the TAT part, yes, as I said, brainstorming will help you a lot. What I would suggest that do not go for family themes कि like लड़का लड़की देख रहे हैं भाई बहन बना देते हैं घर का कोई काम करवा देते हैं. Don't go for those themes. Try to be professional, है ना? And like try to inculcate new themes like कि अभी क्या चल रहा है करंट लाइक वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स. उतना ज्यादा हाई लेवल जाने भी नहीं बोल रही बट आई एम सेइंग कि थोड़ा डिसेंट लेवल स्टोरीज बनाने के लिए, है ना?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so did that answer your question or do you want me to elaborate more?
No, ma'am. That has solved my query enough. May I ask a follow-up question as well?
Yeah, sure you can.
So, ma'am, based on our conscience, sometimes in the PP and DT test, it becomes difficult to like elaborate what we were thinking to our group during that group discussion. So, any tips for that?
Yeah, I also forgot to mention one point about PPDT. Yeah, the key for PPDT is when you are going into the hall, na, when you'll be shown the picture, just empty your mind कि कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, मतलब सब SSB स्क्रीनिंग आसपास के लोग का चेहरा सब भूल, है ना? जस्ट फोकस ऑन वन थिंग कि मेरे सामने एक इमेज दिखेगी, उस इमेज को देख के मेरे दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है, यू हैव टू राइट दैट डाउन. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि पहले से कुछ सोच के गए हैं, इमेज दिखा, हाँ इस पे बैठा देते हैं, ठीक है सही है, नहीं, इमेज देख के सोचो, ठीक है? And now regarding the towards the points that you want to express in the group discussion. So yes, first of all, your communication will definitely help. Communication, इसलिए जरूरी है so that you can convert what you are thinking into your words, है ना? If the group is not listening, if someone is being dominative, you can mention that chest number this. I would like to make a point. Please let me speak about that, है ना? And if you will be giving important points, then someone will listen. Try to inculcate, if you will say a quote like in between, so everyone will be shocked, what did he say? And then you will get a bit of silence. So you can use such strategies. Or maybe if you give some particular action, like if story was something about if you made a story around something and there is some specific action, if you say about that, and people will be stunned for a bit, what happened? And then you can continue speaking. So that's what you can do. But just keep participating and keep trying. Okay, I want to speak, I'll try to speak. Okay, they are not listening, I'll try again. Just keep trying.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Prince Radford.
Jain ma'am.
Jain friends.
Ma'am, psychology is very important part, ma'am, and I want to ask about bird association test. Whether to buy heart those birds or directly right there.
Whether to what? Whether to learn that by heart and then right there, is that what you're asking?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So regarding that, see, for psychology, I would say go for online resources. वहां से practice sheets निकालो. जैसा SSB में timing दिया होता ना कि पहले TAT होगा, उसके बाद VAT होगा, फिर SRT और SGT होगा. टाइम रख के सेम टू सेम सिमुलेट करो, लिखने का प्रैक्टिस करो, है ना? मल्टीपल ऐसे प्रैक्टिस सेट्स प्रैक्टिस करो, ठीक है? तो जब तुम मल्टीपल सेट्स प्रैक्टिस करोगे ना, तुम्हारे दिमाग में ऑलरेडी वो वर्ड देख के तुमको तुरंत सेंटेंस बनने लगेगा. क्योंकि बैट में इतना टाइम नहीं होगा कि तुम वर्ड को देख के फिर सोचोगे फिर लिखोगे, नहीं, वर्ड देखते साथ तुम्हारे दिमाग में जो क्लिक किया लिख दो. इफ यू हैवंट रिटन तो वो वर्ड छूट जाएगा, है ना? तो आई वुड से जस्ट कीप प्रैक्टिसिंग, प्रैक्टिस एंड प्रैक्टिस. And in the same simulated environment, like वहां पे एक के बाद एक अगर टेस्ट होगा तो you also practice this way कि अभी मैं बैठा हूँ for 1.5 to 2 hours मैं पूरा साइक एक बार देख के उठूँ. So like that.
Ma'am, what kind of sentence we should write, ma'am? Just like factual sentence or general sentence?
Yeah, regarding that, see, आई वुड से नेगेटिव तो मत करना कि वो तो सभी खैर बताते हैं कि वी शुड नॉट डू दिस, वी शुड नॉट, मॉडल वर्ब्स उतने यूज मत करना. एंड फैक्चुअल्स, यू नो, सम यू कैन राइट, बट ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो मत करना. दे वांट टू नो अबाउट यू ना, दे डोंट वांट टू नो अबाउट जीके. तो इसलिए सम थिंग्स लाइक कुछ जिसमें नहीं समझ में आ रहा तो फैक्चुअल लिख देना, बट मोस्टली यू नो से अबाउट दैट. फॉर एग्जांपल हार्ड वर्क इज द की टू सक्सेस और समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो ऐसे चीजें बनाना.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Keshav Kumar.
Jai Hind, ma'am.
Jai Hind.
Congratulations, ma'am, first of all.
Thank you, Keshav.
Ma'am, as we know, assessor gives us very short time in PPDT while screening. So, and in the case of repeater, it mostly happened. So what do you think we have to say in spite of the character and age group so that it looks different and attractive to the assessor?
Okay. Yeah. So as I said, SSB का myth कि सामने वाले को क्या दिखाना है, सामने वाला क्या सोच रहा है, हम सोचेंगे. You need not worry about that. तुम अपनी स्टोरी लिखो. असेसर को क्या सोचना है वो असेसर की प्रॉब्लम है ना. एंड लाइक ये स्टोरी वाला जो पार्ट है, राइट, गुड स्टोरी